Saddle hunting world, coming in at $206, I present to you the most feature-rich platform on the market for the price, the Latitude Outdoors Profile Platform. Let's check it out. I said $206 a couple weeks ago. Latitude ran a 30% off. They might even still have a 30% off sale going, but they ran a 30% off for the platform. We were able to scoop this thing up for 180 bucks. And let me tell you something. What comes in the box, I am very impressed with for that price. I haven't found anything on the market this feature rich for that type of price. It's a grizzly color in an aerospace aluminum die cast, 3.5 pounds. I have this next to my cruiser platform just to kind of give you an idea of what it looks like in size and, of course, profile. This thing is awesome, but it is a tank. 4.5 pounds, cruiser platform. Profile platform, 3.5 pounds. So you're dropping a pound off, and you could tell here the difference. You can see it's set up with my Amsteel guy connection point, which I have a new one here. I'm going to show you what that looks like getting it on the tree. For this, everything is foldable on this Latitude one compared to the cruiser. Now, the cruiser was definitely ahead of its time, and that's why I have not upgraded this platform yet. They were the first ones to come out with the canted pressure point relief on the end of their platform, and you can tell Latitude has done the same, but it's not as aggressive. Obviously, the size is much different as well. You can kind of tell the size difference here. I often climb in my muck boots, and so to have that big of a boot, I like having a bigger profile to stand on. Another non-negotiable for me are the knobs. Having some traction on the top of the platform is really crucial. So Cruiser was the first company to do this, where they realized right out the gate, it gets uncomfortable standing for a long time without having this cant that you can kind of take that pressure off your ankles. Let's just incorporate that into our cruiser platform. And they did. And that's why I haven't upgraded. This thing is great. You have a foldable connection point here. Your screw knob, instead of being able to be manipulated back here where it just doesn't work really well, it's up front, so you can get to it really easy and it fastens in place. And then you can move this thing out or in, depending on what your comfortable level is and what you like, to kind of give you a proper offset. It has traction on the top. It's not super aggressive, but not only are the traction marks raised slightly, but the actual paint itself is pretty rough to the touch. They're allowing your teeth to be foldable in. That way, when you fold it, it's completely flat. But when you deploy it up against the tree, there's just a little knob here that you screw down nice and tight, and then that thing is not moving. So when you go up against the tree, these teeth are really sharp. They're gonna bite right in. We're gonna take it against the tree like this, push it down. It's gonna bite and cut into the tree, and then we're going to cant this forward, and these teeth are then going to bite into the tree. I'm also upgrading. I upgraded the cam buckle setup, which we'll look at, for the Amsteel guy setup. This is his platform setup in 8mm Amsteel, and this is the best attachment method for somebody that's in a saddle for their platform, and this is the Pro model, and I'll show you why I love this so much. Not to mention the weight, just the weight difference. This thing is just loud. It's also heavy. There's metal on metal connections here, and so it can cling. You don't have that with this. Nothing. And one thing that I do like about Latitude's cam buckle is it's just a teeth buckle. It's not an actual ratchet strap that makes noise. If you're not going to upgrade to an Amsteel guy, which I wouldn't even mess with anybody else, this guy knows what he's doing, you could stick with this, and this is about as good as it gets. So you're just going to go around the tree and cinch it down and then reposition it where you want it, and it'll stay nice and tight. Let's take it out to the tree, and I'll show you what that looks like. This is why I do away with the cam buckles. When I'm on the tree, you can see if I get up here, I'm 175 pounds. It's coming off the tree. And you could say, well, Josh, what you're gonna do is cam this, right? So I'm gonna stand on it. You're gonna step on top of this and then push it down with my 170 pounds. But we're getting rid of this. I'm gonna show you what we would do instead. So like I was saying, this is his Pro model. It has a Swabish hitch, and it's got a few connection points here. And this is how it's gonna look, just like that. It's just gonna stay like that. So when I get up the tree, imagine me being on my last stick. I put this on my lineman's belt off to the side like this, so it's kind of holding it in place. And I undo all this. First connection is already on. We're gonna go around the tree. This first one is gonna either be at 12 o'clock or 3 o'clock, depending on what you like. Everybody's different. I press it up against my body and I whip this around the tree and I capture it. And this is already at 3 o'clock. I just prefer a little further, just like that. And I'm gonna take this end and I'm going to loop it over the eye. At this point, I am free. This is where the game changes for me. I can reposition it wherever I want it. I then take this loop, this last one, and I'm gonna go back through this one here. We've now looped through, and I'm pulling. And I'm pulling tight. And we're gonna loop this sucker over the eye once and over the eye twice. And then I pull tight. That thing is going nowhere, okay? Now I'm free to push it down and pop it into place. And you can see the difference of it biting already, right? Now I'm on. This sucker has got tons of safety features in it. It drops off the weight, and you've got yourself a really nice Latitude profile platform. This thing is sick, and it's gonna perform really well. I'm really interested to see when my back is good enough, when I'm in the tree, how I can stand off to the sides, right? And when I can get up in this tree, maybe I'll do another video on this, but that is the Latitude profile platform. Navigate the wild.